Okay, we are here Saturday morning with Phyllis Wood, who is the RNC Committeewoman from New Hampshire. Phyllis, thank you very much for taking a little bit of time with GraniteGrok.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we're at the NH GOP annual meeting, and you gave us an update from the RNC, the Republican National Committee, and I was wondering whether or not, for those folks that couldn't attend, what your thoughts are of what's going on given all the current controversy and what you are going to be doing to kind of rectify the situation. What's your intent?
Well, as I mentioned to the folks, we are definitely working with Michael Steele. I've also made contacts with Randy Pullen, who is our RNC treasurer that I supported in Arizona. I've had conversations with him and some other key RNC members, and I feel assured that they have put the safeguards in place. They've put in the checks, they've put in the oversight that we have not had before that are necessary to make sure that we, if we can't eliminate, at least we mitigate any problems and we hold down the potential for any future mistakes that have obviously caused us a lot of embarrassment in the past.
Okay, and certainly it has gotten a lot of bad publicity for the Republican Party, just as we were starting to get a little bit of momentum.
Yes.
Some of that has reflected back on the chairman, and a lot of people are calling for his dismissal. A lot of people are saying he could be rehabilitated. And I'm curious as to which camp, if you're willing and able to say, which way do you think it should go?
Well, number one, I freely admit that I did not support or endorse Michael Steele. I supported one of the conservatives, and there were many that were running.
And that was Solonousis, correct?
That's right, and the conservatives kind of split the vote and allowed the big tent, more moderate candidate to get in. However, he is what we have. He has made mistakes. I think we've taken him to task. I certainly have taken him to task personally on a couple of issues. Some things like this latest problem that slipped by with a mid-staffer making a very poor judgment decision. I don't know that we can necessarily blame on him, except that he did fire that staffer. He fired the chief of staff, and heads rolled, and some remedial action has been taken. But I will say, Skip, that I don't think this is the time, seven months out, to change commanders. I don't think that we have the votes. It would take 2/3 votes on the committee to replace him. He's been elected until January, and it's our intent to try to stick with him and hopefully make the changes that are necessary. We're in the battle, an ideological battle, in a political war. And I think that if we fire our commander and start again and try to regroup, that's exactly what our opponents are looking for.
Okay. Now, Sean Mahoney has resigned from the RNC. We're not sure what his next political step is going to be. There's certainly a lot of rumors here in New Hampshire about running for one office or another office or even something else altogether. My question to you is, at the RNC level, is being 1/3 down, because it's you and Governor Sununu and it was Sean Mahoney, that special election has now been put off for quite some time. Is that going to put the first in the nation primary here in New Hampshire at risk? Because that's one of, in talking with you in the past, that's one of your major concerns.
Yes, and that certainly is a major concern for both the governor and our committee men and women, our representatives to the RNC. I think we are fairly secure on that front, though. The Rules Committee has put in place that Iowa and New Hampshire are secure in that position. However, we will be having a summer meeting where the Temporary Delegate Selection Committee, which is an exception to our rules that's looking at the primary rotation, they will be coming back to the full RNC for a vote on their recommendations. Now, we're optimistic that they're not going to touch the first in the nation primary, so I think at least on that level we will be okay. I do probably have some personal reservations about the fact that New Hampshire is, as a small state, the only state that will be handicapped in the RNC by having only 2 votes instead of 3 in any other issues that come up.
Certainly what I consider to be the unique retail politics here in New Hampshire versus what seems to be the mass media politics of most other states is at risk. And I think that is something that we want you here in New Hampshire to fight forward and continue that battle?
Well, I think that I'm absolutely committed to that. That's priority one for whoever represents New Hampshire on the RNC. I will say that one of the things that people don't realize is, as I said, Michael Steele has been elected. His term is up in January. What the current situation is we will be electing a new committee man and a new state chairman, both of whom will be brand new people on the RNC. They will be charged with the responsibility, the overwhelming responsibility of choosing whoever will be the state, the national party chair to take Michael Steele's place, or whether or not to reinstate Michael Steele for the next 2 years going into the presidential cycle.
Certainly there's a lot going on here in New Hampshire. And Phyllis, please promise me that you're going to stay in touch and give the readers of GraniteGrok regular updates.
I promise that I will stay in touch, Skip.
Thank you, Phyllis.